Jangbi would have liked to see, I think. Just with that one probe running back, I mean, it's not going to make a difference really in the game as far as that goes, but usually at this high level of play, you're able to stop that kind of thing from happening, as well as split the probes, which Jangbi also didn't accomplish. And unfortunately for Jangbi, he didn't discover that pocket in the backfield there. He just ran headlong at that turret, and then he just said, oh, well, there's a turret up. There's got to be turrets in the background. Most likely that's what he was saying to himself. Stork there looking on kind of anxiously, wanting to play. I know Stork wants to play. He's probably going to be in their... no, he can't be in their next game. They got to throw in a Zerg player. But he's probably going to be in their 4th game if it comes to it. But the way things are looking right now, it very well may come to a 4th game, just because I think Hiya is in a very strong position now. Usually, as a commentator, and I hate to say it, but I do lean towards the player who is just known to just be a massive and dominating player. But unfortunately in this case, I mean, Jangbi just not showing it. Not to mention, I absolutely love it when a player just dominates. Flash, I love it. I absolutely love it. Everybody says that you got to have some balance to the game. No, I completely disagree. If somebody has the skill to play the game and dominate it, I think that shows more for the game, the balance of the game, than not, just because it shows that the best player wins. If you have more skill, you're going to win. And just to have a player winning all the time, absolutely love it. It's great for the game. Anyways, we have 2 Reavers on the front door there. They're going to get 2 Reaver blasts off, which is going to be so effective. Oh, pushing in there, trying to get off those tanks. And I don't know if he lost a Reaver there. The screen moved up just a little bit. 2 Reaver Scarabs, though, going off on those tanks. 1 tank going down there. And Jangbi's going to use this high ground to pick off some Marines, pick off some Vultures, pick off anything that he possibly can before that big force, that big mech ball gets on Jangbi's front door here. He does not want Hiya to siege up and get in position here. Unfortunately, though, for Hiya, this is actually working extremely well. Hiya being forced to just take that middle ground there. I mean, the middle ground is something very nice to have, but at this point in the game, when you're pushing like this, you really want to take out a Protoss base, a Protoss building, a Protoss gateway, tech, pylons, anything you can get your greedy little mechanized fingers around, just so you can do some kind of damage with this little push. You don't really need to do anything as long as you keep the forces alive. And oh, that huge ball of vultures, 1 Reaver going off, 1 Reaver Scarab going off there would just be so effective. And I think he needs to go home, drop off 1 of those Reavers and pick up some Zealots and throw them into that shuttle just to do some Zealot bombs. And those goons reaching around there, going around, looping around, and picking off all of the reinforcing mech units coming in here. And unfortunately for Jangbi, this mech ball is now on Jangbi's front door here, pounding away, taking down 1 gateway, focus firing down those pylons now, and it looks like Jangbi's in a lot of trouble here. He's trying to counterattack here, and this is usually a sign of desperation, and he's not going to be able to get in there. All those mines, about 6 mines, as well as 2 tanks in the backfield, able to hold off 10 whole Dragoons, so not looking good for Jangbi. Oh god, I had this exact same thing happen to me on this map, I think yesterday, when I was just practicing up with my Protoss, and oh, Reaver drops going off all over these tanks, and Jangbi looking to break out here. 1 Reaver Scarab needs to go off here. Reaver Scarab not going off at the exact position that he wanted to, and a ton of mines going off on those goons, taking down 2 goons for free. And however, that force has been cleaned up. Hiya with that complete, I hate to say it, but that complete idiot grin on his face, looking a little bit disappointed or just dumbfounded. Dumbfounded is the word I'll use. Completely dumbfounded by the fact that his push just looked so established but got taken down so immediately. But Jangbi doing the right thing there, though, taking down that force when he needed to, going into desperation mode and taking down that force. However, Hiya now discovering, hey, there's a robotics facility and a support base sitting right there, expensive buildings, and it's going to help me deal with the observers. Mines will be more effective, as well as no more Reavers and shuttles. And there we go, though, it getting cleaned up. Unfortunately for Hiya, if he would have discovered that earlier, as well as that 3rd base position, I think he would have opted to go for that base instead. Possibly not, though. You really do want to take out that reinforcement route as well, so you don't get flanked with your push. But he could have at least gotten those buildings down, and it would have been more effective than taking down the 2 pylons and 1 gateway that he did get on the front door earlier. which I believe are probably now back up and running as well. So Engineering Bay going up in the middle of the field here as well. And Hiya just looking to push out as far as he can. He couldn't get that contain off, unfortunately, but trying to push out as far as he can, getting that Engineering Bay up, trying to throw down some more turrets, and pushing in again, just being relentless here, never giving up, never surrendering. He needs to take down something, though, here. I think he understands that, and he does have a third base, though, off to the left side of the map. However, no, picking off that pylon, so Vultures are going to be able to run in there and just raid that probe line. And not doing so, though, leaving those Vultures back at home, and he's going to try. This is going to be a very close battle here. Those goons focus firing down the tanks, though. Really nice micro coming from Jangbi. Like I said earlier in the game, Jangbi's just mass force micro is just so good. And there we go, giving up on that position, realizing that there's no more Zealots incoming. He's just going to try to focus fire down that probe line and plant some mines down. If he can get a big enough minefield down there. Yeah, unfortunately for Jangbi, he didn't realize that there weren't any mines in the backfield. Wasn't paying attention there. Too busy microing on the front door. Shuttle almost going down there. Didn't realize that there were only a couple of mines there. Now he realizes that there's only one mine. Almost losing that Nexus there, though. If those Vultures would have been able to pick away for another maybe 20 seconds, he probably would have gotten that Nexus down. I'm not sure where the upgrades are at right now either. We did see that it is 0-0 as far as Jangbi side of things go, but for Hiya, I'm not sure, and mech units really need those upgrades when you push into the mid-game like this. Pylon now going down, trying to block off those Vultures from raiding in again, and Jangbi, we can see on his first player view here, he has not seen that left side position, he has not seen that base going up, which, by the way, is completely undefended, and I think Hiya knows that he can go undefended at this point. Now I think Jangbi is looping around with some forces in the middle field here. Is he going to go in to try to scout out that position? An observer coming in here now. I think Jangbi is finally going to see it, and Jangbi is going to realize that he is in a horrible position. Not to mention the fact that he's getting harassed here on the front door, and he's unable to expand to any other position because those Vultures are just going to have complete map dominance over him. So, yeah, not looking too good for Jangbi right now. Starport going up as well. Not sure that's the best position just because of the forces that are now coming in here that are probably going to pick it off. A lot of Vultures, though, sweeping in around here. And, yeah, it looks like Jangbi is going to come in here, push off, just pick off as many SCVs as he can. Unfortunately, though, he's probably going to click on one of those mineral patches and realize how long they've been mining for. And, oh, getting caught up here. Those goons getting caught up in that SCV line. He's going to have to micro against all these Vultures. And, oh, a Reaver. Reaver out of nowhere. Coming in, exploding 3 Vultures, getting another Scarab off, exploding another 3 Vultures. Let's see if he can get one more off on that huge clump. Oh, Scarab not going off there, unfortunately. I'm not sure if he was just building Scarabs at that point in time and they weren't up and running, or if he just didn't leave the Reaver out for long enough, which is what it looked like. And now that, yeah, that robotics support bay and robotics facility have gone down. So unfortunately, no observer production, no shuttle production, no harassment, no Reavers, nothing, absolutely no advantages for Jangbi at this point in time. Hiya just showing him what's up, showing him that Terrans can still do it. The massive Protoss names of the day just will not walk over these Terrans anymore, and I love it. I mean, I love watching Terran dominance, just because it's just a slow, creeping, just overwhelming, and, like, upsetting thing to watch. It's just so devastating watching the Terran army just creep across the field and slowly work away at the opponent, and I absolutely love it. But Jangbi, I think, is going to go down at this point in time. He's still got 3 bases running, which is good for him. However, with this Terran player, with Hiya having been mining for such a long time, as well as still having that contain. Unfortunately, though, Hiya really, he's been leaving that base up he's done damage to the base, he's killed a couple probes here and there, but he hasn't done it all. He hasn't killed all the probes. He hasn't